Hi, spots and cheap pops, ladies and gentlemen, Silicon Steve Valley, Vladi, Dottie, and we are talking about All Elite Wrestling and the woes and the negativity and the morale at possibly an all-time low, as reported by our buddy Uncle Dave Meltzer. Vladi, Dottie with the details. How you living, Vladi, Dottie?
I'm living large as always, Mr. Valley. And especially when you're hearing news like this, it just sort of sends a quake through you, I guess, unexpectedly here as we see things evolving with AEW. And as reported by Uncle Dave, I'll just give you guys a quick blurb here where, quote unquote, he's speaking about AEW in this quote, they're grossing a lot of money. It's interesting because today I've gotten so much feedback from people in and around AEW, and it's a lot of negativity right now. So right there within the first statement, he is indicating that even though they're actually making money, which I've seen their gross numbers being reported quite a bit, and but we haven't seen, the net profits yet. So as Uncle Dave was telling us, Mr. Valley, they're grossing a lot of money. It's interesting because today I've gotten so much feedback from people in and around AEW, and it's a lot of negativity right now. So he's indicating right off the bat that they are, showing good numbers, that they are expanding on these numbers each and every year. But even with that being said, what he indicated in a later quote was that the house numbers are a bit of a drag. The talent's not really enjoying that. And then also beyond that, you'll also have a situation where talent is not happy about their TV time, especially like Britt Baker. And I'm sure you'll show what she said or indicate what she said as well on social media, even like comparing the TV time that MJF got and also Christian Cage, who are two of your top stars. And she's sort of putting herself in comparison to them, where how much time they spent on one show versus her TV time for an entire year.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. It just Tony Khan has his plate full at this point. It's very intriguing seeing a situation like that. It's not like, hey, we're not making money. It looks like we're going out of business. They're just not happy coming to work at this moment. So, what are your thoughts on this and some of the other people that have been complaining?
Well, again, the grass is greener on the other side now. And we've said that with Triple H taking over WWE, it just doesn't take away from maybe some people who were watching AEW and WWE and trying to split. Now they're watching more WWE, or maybe they're more excited about the WWE product. That is the hotter product right now. There's no way around it. And it's extraordinarily hotter. And not only is it a hotter product with all the production stuff, the roster, all the stuff that was always good, even with Vince McMahon, that stuff is really great. But now there's great storytelling with it. Now there's great wrestling on top of it. And the fact remains here is that they're not a hot commodity right now. AEW just isn't. It doesn't matter that they just brought in Adam Cole. It doesn't matter that they have MJF having a really great run, even though he's on TV quite a lot. A lot of this stuff doesn't matter, but Christian and MJF are two of the things that AEW is doing right. So Britt Baker is just frustrated with the whole thing. I don't think it really was necessarily anything to do with MJF or Christian Cage.
No, not at all.
I think Britt Baker just wants to be able to be on television. She built a brand, and that brand has taken a hit because she doesn't get on TV. But this has been a problem. Look, folks, here's the reality. Tony Khan doesn't know how to fucking book a wrestling show. Okay, we've had 4 years, almost 5 years of this now. How many great, complete, consummate storylines have we seen? All the way through, from start to finish, it was done. 2 that were done well? And how many times do we have a great performer that's not on TV for 3 months just because they had nothing for him? Yeah, we're getting Action fucking Andretti and Sky Blue every week. Tony Khan has been miserable getting his stars on television consistently. He's been miserable in putting them in storylines. And I don't know if it's just him. It's not just him. It's whoever else. Whoever's part of the creative situation in AEW right now, you're fucking up, and it's been bad for a very long time. You got to pass with it up until a year and a half ago, not even, 14, 15 months ago, you got to pass on it. But now Triple H is booking WWE correctly. You're not competing with crazy old Vince McMahon. You're competing with a guy who knows what he's doing, and he's eating your lunch for breakfast and taking your stars on top of it. And they're not the only ones. Look, someone like Malachi Black, Andrade, Miro, all these people loved working for Triple H. They didn't like Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon got them fired. Every single one of them, for the most part, outside of maybe Jon Moxley, would go back to WWE in a New York fucking minute. Maybe not Bryan Danielson. But the reality is that they say whatever, they can talk about the business all they want. When you're cutting a promo and you don't see a soul and the hard cam and you're talking and there's nobody. Here's a picture of MJF cutting a promo last week. That is demoralizing. You're supposed to be in the big leagues. This is an indie bullshit show. TNA is drawing as many people at this point, it seems. AEW is now a lot closer to the TNAs and NWAs than they are WWE. It's that simple. And I don't know if they've gotten this new television gig or not, but their ratings have been in the fucking tank too. So they are bringing all that money in. A lot of it's because of their media. That media, if that's not there anymore, then what are they going to do? This is, and I've said this a couple of times, this is reminding me of WCW in 2000. Jumbled up storylines, nothing really making a whole hell of a lot of sense. A lot of convoluted storylines that don't ever get seen all the way through. And it's been a disaster for a while now. This isn't new. There's always been problems with the booking in this company. And there's always been problems with getting the top stars on television. And and I'm glad you're building Daniel Garcia and Action Andretti, because they're the only ones that are going to be left in your fucking company in 2 years, Tony, if you don't get your shit together here. So my problem is Tony Khan does not know. He's a mark that never did this before, and he's proving that he is such. And he's letting certain people tell him how to run his company, and it's been a disaster now. A disaster. The writing is on the wall. They need to change something. And we know when it started and we know where it started. It started all out in 2022. That was the beginning and the end of the happy time, the innocence of the AEW. People that are still there were a major problem with it. And I have zero confidence that they're going to turn this around at this point in time, because I haven't seen anything to warrant that. Now, they got some talent. They got a good roster for the next couple of years. But Tony's going to have to stop putting Daniel Garcia on every single fucking show and start getting Miro on every single show. That makes sense. Get your stars. People like Britt Baker. You wonder why the women's division's a disaster. The only woman outside of now maybe Toni Storm that you really built in terms of their character was Dr. Britt Baker. And the only reason she did that is because you kept her on TV because she had a broken ankle. But she's had no investment into her character. When she has, it's been a real crappy story. The thing with Saraya was quick, mumbled, decent match, but nothing really ever came of it. It wasn't that big of a moment. And it's been a disaster for a long time. The women's division is like a complete microcosm of it. And Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, they're bitching. We need more. And look, Tony Khan does a really easy job. Like, okay, you know what we're doing? So I don't have to book anything. I'm going to give Action Andretti and whoever 15 minutes. Or I'm going to give a Ring of Honor tag team match 20 minutes on a primetime show. That's not getting you more people. It's a disaster. And this is my problem is AEW, a strong AEW is great for professional wrestling. A strong AEW is what facilitated the changes in WWE, where now WWE, in my opinion, is at a creative high. Tony isn't booking against Vince McMahon anymore. He's booking against a guy who is killing it. And Tony looks like a mark, and he looks like he doesn't have any control over his company, and he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. And the crowds are dwindling. The ratings are dwindling. And that's frustrating for talent, especially when people like the Hardys have been in the business a long time, a lot longer than Tony Khan, and they're saying you need to be more entertainment based. And Tony, because maybe he's not good enough at booking and just throws more wrestling than needs, or not, because it's like a New Japan show, which is great for New Japan if you really like it, but it's not going to work here in the States. It's just not. And it's not working now.